On a narrow street called Ogora Lane, close to Efurun roundabout, there lived a woman everyone knew very well. Her name was Madame Ejiro. She was a landlady, but not the good kind. Madame Ejiro owned a 2-story building her late husband had built many years earlier, back when oil money still flowed like the River Wari. She lived upstairs. Downstairs were 3 self-contained rooms, all occupied by tenants. From morning till night, Madame Ejiro's mouth never rested. If you were sleeping, her voice would wake you. If you were cooking, she would shout. If you were laughing, she would get angry. Una thinks say this house free. I build am with my sweat. The first tenant was Mama Teni, a quiet widow who sold akara and pap at the junction. She woke up by 4 a.m. every day, hustled till her body ached, and still struggled to pay rent. Madame Ejiro showed no mercy. If the rent was late by just 1 week, Madame Ejiro would stand in the corridor and disgrace her. See as poverty full your body. If no be say I pity you, you for day road. Mama Teni would lower her head in silence while neighbors listened to everything. The second tenant was Kelvin, a young man who ran a POS business. Anytime a customer came late at night, Madame Ejiro would lock the gate. No movement after 9 o'clock? No hotel be this? Kelvin would beg, but she never listened. The third tenant was Rita, a corp member posted to Wari. No water? Madame Ejiro did not care. Power failure? She demanded contributions. A broken toilet? Una de usam, una fixam. Yet rent was never late on her side. Wari people often say wickedness is sweet until it turns bitter, but Madame Ejiro never listened. Madame Ejiro believed life had settled for her. She wore her wrapper and gold chains, sitting on the balcony like a soldier, watching over the tenants. Anytime she heard laughter downstairs, she would shout, "Una tu de enjoy!" Rain leaked into the tenants' rooms. She refused to fix the roof. Mosquitoes filled the compound. She never sprayed. The drainage blocked. She did nothing. But when she needed money, she was firm. By next week, rent must complete or pack. The tenants endured because house rent in Wari was no joke. Some neighbors tried to advise her. Madame Ejiro, calm down. Tomorrow fit past today. She would hiss. Na me get house, na me get power. And she continued. Then, 1 month, everything began to change. Her provision shop at Jakba Road stopped selling. Her only son in Port Harcourt lost his job. One morning, a lawyer's letter arrived. Her son, Ochuko, had sold the house. A new owner appeared. A court case followed, but it did not last long. The documents were original. The house had truly been sold. She lost the case. One hot afternoon, court officials entered Ogora Lane. Tenants peeped through their windows. Madame Ejiro shouted. She cried. She begged. But Wari shows no mercy when the law has spoken. That same week, a notice was pasted on the gate. The house had been seized. The day Madame Ejiro packed her belongings, the compound was silent. No insults, no shouting, no pride. She carried 2 bags and looked around the house one last time. No one followed her. For the first time, Madame Ejiro walked away without power. The Wari sun burned that day, and life began to teach her a lesson. After Madame Ejiro left Ogara Lane, life gave her no breathing space. She spent her first night at a cousin's place in Enahen. By the 3rd day, the cousin complained. Ejiro, everywhere, don tight. You go find your way small. Shame gripped her throat. She moved to a church veranda. The night breeze bit her skin. Mosquitoes showed no mercy. The woman who once shouted from a balcony now begged a security man just to sleep for a few hours. Hunger humbled her. Her phone stopped ringing. The same people who once greeted her no longer picked her calls. One evening, heavy rain started suddenly. Madame Ejiro stood under a bridge near Okumagba, her body shaking. Her wrapper was soaked. Her slippers were torn. That was when she remembered Mama Teni, the quiet widow, the woman she insulted endlessly, the woman she threatened every month. Her legs trembled as she walked toward Jakpa. Mama Teni had moved into a small room there. When Madame Ejiro arrived, she knocked gently. Mama Teni opened the door and froze. Madame Ejiro! The woman who once commanded now stood like a beggar hare, rough, face thin, eyes red. Madame Ejiro fell on her knees. Teni, a bag, I don't fall finish. I no get where to go. For a long moment, Mama Teni said nothing. Memories of insults and disgrace flooded her mind. Then she sighed. Stand up, enter inside. The room was small, one mattress, one plastic chair, no luxury, but peace lived there. Mama Teni gave her dry clothes and hot food. Madame Ejiro ate like someone who had not eaten in days. Tears fell into her plate. I wicked, she whispered. I forget say life day turn. Mama Teni sat beside her. Madam Life? No, get respect for anybody. That night, Madame Ejiro slept on the floor, but for the first time in years, she slept without pride and without fear. Days turned into weeks. Madame Ejiro swept the compound. She helped fry akara. She greeted neighbors softly. People were shocked. Now Madame Ejiro be this? She had changed. One morning, she told Mama Teni, If no be you, I for don die. Mama Teni smiled. Just remember this feeling. 2 weeks later, Mama Teni spoke again. Madam, this place too small. I get one extra room for my uncle house for Ugbomro. Madame Ejiro was shocked. Free? She asked quietly. No rent, no pressure, just rest. The room was simple, clean, peaceful. That first night, Madame Ejiro stared at the ceiling. This room small past my former parlour, she whispered. Yet tears rolled down her face. Because comfort is not size, it is peace. From that day, Madame Ejiro became a new woman. Not because life became sweet, but because life turned. Fast, sharp, without warning. In worry they say, no use today, measure tomorrow. Treat people well, because the person you look down on today may be the one who gives you shelter tomorrow.